Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. Today is Wednesday, April 27th. We are talking with SBR contributor Dana Lane, continuing our coverage of the NHL playoffs. Dana Lane, we got two games tonight, one game one and one game seven. Let's start with the Islanders at Tampa Bay. You know, this is an interesting series. Obviously, we've had a good read on most of these teams, most of these games, but the Islanders took us both by surprise by beating Florida. We expected Florida to do well in the playoffs, and now Tampa Bay looking like a very strong team. Ben Bishop was awesome in round one. Question is, how much will he be? Do we expect, Tampa Bay and Ben Bishop to be able to shut down the Islanders here? It's a pretty healthy favorite line, right? It's about 155, 160 market wide. The Greek has minus 150 though, and the Isles' last three games in their series against Florida was very low scoring. Tampa Bay held down Detroit, scoring very well in their series, and maybe we want to take a shot with the under 5. What's your take on game one, Islanders Tampa Bay, Dana?
Yeah, Pete, I mean, I'm right with you on that. I like the under 5 in this, especially for getting even money, which was a little bit of a surprise to me. I thought this would be a little bit skewed, maybe $1.15 to the under, something like that. But even money, we'll absolutely take it. And both of these goaltenders have been playing exceptionally well. Thomas Greiss was a little bit of a surprise, but certainly has been playing great against the Florida Panthers. He gave up just 13 goals on 234 shots. His save percentage is around 94%, which is fantastic. And of course, Ben Bishop, what more can you say about him? He has faced 160 shots against the Detroit Red Wings and gave up only 8 goals and has a 95% save percentage. So, both of those save percentages and goals against averages look like an under to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. Do you have any sense on the money line for anyone who's trying to figure that one out? If you want to take a shot with the Islanders, you can get plus 140. Do you think those lines are right on, or is it wait and see?
Yeah, I'm not, Pete. I'm gonna stay away from the game total because I think it's the money line's a little bit too large for my taste. But we do like the first period. We love to look at those first periods quite a bit. So you are getting a more fair $1.36 on the first period, and that's down a little bit from $1.40 as an opening price. So that to me looks like your option. So you don't have to lay the big number for the game, but. For me, defensively, I think Tampa Bay is a lot better, and I'm just not sold on Hamonic and Leddy and Johnny Borchuk as a defensive grouping that I want to rely on to beat a much speedier Tampa Bay team who laid 6 goals on Thomas Greiss last time they played.
Okay, sounds good. And then we have the Game 7 in Nashville, Anaheim. And I'll start this one off by saying that I did go back to the well one more time on the first period under. I've cashed, I think, 4 games in a row with that. And I did take it again at it's minus 149 at Pinnacle, minus 160 at Heritage, various places. So that's the range for that one. I went back one more time. If I lose, that's okay. But it seems like once again, the first period under is going to be a good bet. And, Nashville, a big underdog here, even though Anaheim did recently win 3 games in a row and Pekka Rinne has been a little bit inconsistent. Seems like a pretty even series. And Nashville, you can get it, plus 145, plus 150. Heritage is plus 156 for Nashville. And as we know, Anaheim has not done well in playoff Game 7s in recent years. They've been bounced from the playoffs each of the last 3 seasons in a Game 7 at home. So in light of that, maybe a shot with Nashville as a big underdog is also worth thinking about. What do you think, Dana?
Yeah, I certainly can see where you're coming from, Pete. And in fact, I like Nashville plus $1.35 in the first period. I think that's a reasonable line to go out and get a shot with. I mean, I could definitely see where Nashville will be completely fired up knowing that they have to score the first goal. If they don't score the first goal, that's playing right into what the Anaheim Ducks like to do. They like to suffocate you and force you to make mistakes, so they lengthen their lead on your mistakes and on the penalty kill or on the special teams units. So, look, the only apprehension I have about the Ducks is I have yet to see their big players step up. And I know that Ryan Getzlaf has had a great series, but historically not very good in Game 7s. And, oh, by the way, Corey Perry can show up to this series anytime he'd like. They are too focused on defense for me, and that's one of the reasons why I wasn't a huge Duck fan this whole season. But I can see James Neal getting one off in that first period and having Ryan Johansson in front of Anderson to maybe screen him a little bit. And I feel pretty good. We'll We're going to take Nashville in the first period at $1.35. You're getting a little bit better number on that because it opened at plus 125. And I'm with you on the under, but I'm going to take it for the game at minus $1.11.
Okay, the under 5 for the full game. So you don't really like, if you like the Nashville in the first period, that means you think there's a pretty good chance that they're going to score a goal. Maybe they'll score 2. So you're not too high on the first period under at about minus 155 or so.
Yeah, I mean, certainly it's worth the shot, but I have seen a lot of it, like when we try to coach people in how to play games. I mean, I think it's more reasonable to think that Nashville is going to come out and catch the Ducks sleeping in the first period than I do the whole game. So we're going to I always try to look for those plus numbers and where is there the potential of getting a plus number. And I think that, I don't think you're going to catch the Ducks off their game for 60 minutes, but you sure might catch them off guard for 20. And I think that's worth a shot considering this series is tied at 3 apiece.
All right, interesting thoughts, Dana Lane. And yeah, sometimes I do look for Game 7s to have sort of a different pace than the previous games leading up to it. So a lot of times when you see 3 or 4 low-scoring games in a row, sometimes the Game 7 in both basketball and hockey can have a reversal of that. But I think I'm still going to expect, just because both teams here are so predicated on defense, I still think I'm going to go with the first period under. You know what I'm talking about? How sometimes the Game 7s change in unexpected ways.
Oh, well, hey, Pete, I mean, I don't doubt what you're saying there. Hey, all it has to do is be 1-0, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's really all we're looking for. And that's really, if you look at statistics and you look at teams in the first period versus the second and third period, typically the first period scoring is the least amount of the 3 periods. So yeah, certainly we're looking for a 1-0 game. I don't expect it to be 2-0, or certainly not 3-0, but a real tight game where Nashville sneaks one in and early on, and then the Ducks wake up and then maybe lay it on them. But certainly, I like your play, and I'm just a little bit more comfortable because with the under and the full game because when you talk about Freddie Anderson, I mean he could pitch a shutout or at least only allow 1 goal. So you're well on your way to an under as far as the game is concerned.
Dana Lane, thanks so much. As always, we'll be back with you tomorrow for the Thursday game.
Thank you, Pete. Appreciate your time.